If you're looking to rebuild your credit or even just establish credit, the Chime card might be on your radar. But is this a good card to use? Hey, I'm Stephanie Adams, and I am an accredited financial counselor. Let's talk about this Chime card. I'm seeing the advertisements everywhere, so I figure we should probably touch on this one. I have heard some really, really good things about this card, but I've also seen a couple of things that maybe aren't so good. So let's run through the whole gambit of what's going on with this card. First thing you should know is that Chime is actually not a bank. It is partnered with two banks, but Chime itself is a fintech company. It went public in 2012 and it has millions of users at this point. And part of that has to do with their advertising just being so well. They are hitting the right target with their advertising. There are no fees. There are no interest charges. There is no credit check. That's definitely appetizing for people. There is not a minimum security deposit. It's going to report to all three bureaus. All of that sounds amazing. So, and it really is just that easy to get this card to start building your credit or rebuilding after you've had an issue. There is no limit on this card though. So the money that you put in as the deposit is the limit on the card. And that can change month to month. So if one month you decide you want your deposit to be $200 and then the next month it's $100, that's okay. They will work with that. You just have to be able to control your spending. So how do you qualify? You literally deposit money into an account, and once they receive that deposit, then they invite you to apply for the card. How does it work? Well, you're going to be able to swipe the card wherever you want to. It is a Visa, so you can swipe it anywhere. And at the end of the month, Chime takes your deposit and applies that money toward what you've spent on the card. So if you have $300 in your deposit and you've spent $250, then Chime just takes that money and puts it towards your payment, and that's it. And then you can just put even more money back into a deposit and spend again the next month. The problem is if you charged $350, but you only have $300 as a payment, you're going to have some billing issues. So this is not a card that you just swipe away and you don't track. It is designed to get you to track your spending, which I think is actually pretty good. So what are people saying about this card? I've seen people who have said that, they start with a 500 credit score and it's up to a 670 in 8 months. It all depends on how you use the card. But there are a couple of negative things. One is that Chime actually doesn't have a credit limit. And there's 5 parts of the FICO credit scoring model, and one of them is the ratio of how much you can borrow versus how much you did borrow. And when they take that limit out, it really could mess up the credit score. Now, if you already have bad credit, you can still use this card to build your credit because you're going to get that positive payment history, which is worth 35% of your score. But if the card is not showing a ratio, which is 30% of your score, then it could throw off the score a little bit. So you kind of have to take that and see what your credit does and how your credit responds, and then you can decide if you want to continue to use the card. But if you stop using the card, your score will stall. And if you close the card, just like if you close any account, your score could potentially drop. All right, so who is this card for? Again, this card is for people who are trying to establish a credit history. They're trying to recover from bad credit, and people who want to be able to control the limit on the card and what's being spent, which I really think is probably the best part about this card. You can't overspend. My final thoughts on this is that it's a really good product to use as long as you understand its limitations. If you're looking to swipe and only pay a portion of what you swiped every month, Chime is not the card for you. It just simply will not allow you to do that. So if you like this video, well, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and then in the comments, will you just let me know if you use Chime and what you thought about it, and then stick around as we go through more information on these credit cards, how they can be used, who they're best for, and we'll even get into the disclosure statement so you know what you're signing up for. I'm Stephanie Adams, and we'll talk soon.